Tropical rainforests of South America are near the equator, where the climate is warm and moist all year round, creating ideal conditions for plant growth.
There are 60 to 160 inches of rainfall a year, which is fairly evenly distributed, producing a lot of hot, humid conditions.
The average temperature is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit in the daytime, and at nighttime it's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Tropical rainforests are specific to regions around the equator. South America has two types of rainforests, tropical and temperate. One of the most famous rainforests is the Amazon, the largest tropical rainforest in the world.
The world's largest rainforest is watered by the world's mightiest river. It's home to the greatest diversity of living things anywhere. And dozens are still discovered every year. The creatures of this realm are part of a complex web of mutual dependence. Their interlocking relationships have evolved over millennia.
Animal species living in the tropical rainforest outnumber those of all other land habitats combined. Most tropical forest animals have been identified and classified, but the invertebrate life is so diverse that the task of cataloging it will never be complete. An estimated 1 in 10 animals on the planet inhabit the Amazon rainforest. Animals of the tropical rainforest have developed over time to thrive in the lush environment. For example, the agouti is a small mouse-like animal, and it has evolved strong enough teeth that it can break through the seed pods on the forest floor. The agouti buries what seeds it cannot eat, thus allowing new seedlings to sprout.
A tropical rainforest has more kinds of trees than any other area in the world. Scientists have counted about 100 to 300 species in 2.5 acre area in South America. 70% of the plants in the rainforest are trees. Trees and other forest plants grow almost incessantly in an endless competition for light and the ideal growth conditions. Some plants put all of their resources into growing towering trunks, while others are adapted for survival in partial shade. As a result of these different growth patterns, the forest is divided into clearly defined layers, each with its own characteristic animal species. The highest layer, at about 245 feet, consists of giant isolated trees called emergents. Beneath that level is the canopy, where abundant life and some protection provided by the emergents results in a continuous layer of branches and lush foliage up to 65 feet deep. Below the canopy is the understory, a more open layer made up of shade-tolerant trees. On the forest floor, leaf litter is food for some very small animals as well as support for plants and saplings that grow where sufficient light filters through from above. The jaguar is a keystone predator of the Amazon rainforest with a diet of up to 87 species. The jaguar keeps down the population of the other species in the forest by being the top predator. It has a mutualistic relationship with the tropical rainforest. The Brazil nut tree towers above all other trees in the Amazon rainforest, reaching over 160 feet. It produces the Brazil nut, which is a delectable delight for the agouti and other types of insects. The tree relies on the agoutis, bees, and other rainforest plants for survival. Another plant species living in the Amazon rainforest is the orchid. There are 25,000 to 30,000 different species of orchid, at least 10,000 of which can be found in the tropics. Orchid species can differ greatly from one another, and most orchids depend on a single species of bird, bee, or other insect for pollination. If that species is eliminated, the particular orchid that depends on that species becomes threatened by extinction.
Deforestation is currently threatening wildlife and forests throughout the tropics. Nearly half of the world's original tropical rainforest cover has been destroyed during the last 40 years, and large areas of seasonal forests have been cleared either from lumber or for use as a farmland. International efforts are being made to preserve forests. In Costa Rica, for example, almost 30% of the country has been designated as a national park. But in many countries throughout the tropics, forest clearance is continuing at a rapid rate. This impact on plants and animals that this particular deforestation is causing is greater than others because there are so many species at stake. Humans have had a major impact on the tropical rainforest. Originally, 14% of the earth was covered in the lush green rainforest. Today, a chunk approximately the size of a football field is cut down each second.
Golden lion tamarins are one of the endangered species in the Amazon rainforests. Their faces are dark gray and their hands, fingers, and claws are long and thin to probe into bark and crevices for grubs. Approximately 4/5 of their diet is fruit supplemented by gum and nectar. They forage by day and sleep at night in tangled vegetation or in a hole in a tree. The plight of the golden lion tamarin became symbolic of the consequences of forest clearance and has been the subject of conservation efforts since the 1960s.
Organisms are deemed producers, consumers, or decomposers based on their eating habits. In the tropical rainforests of South America, some producers, or organisms that produce their own food, are water lilies and orchids. Consumers in turn eat producers or other consumers. The consumers of the rainforest include capybaras, termites, vampire bats, giant anteaters, three-toed sloths, and more. Fungi, the forest decomposer, works to break down decaying material from all levels of the food web.